Guys, I am doing something that I have never ever done before in a video. We are doing a wheel spin on the Betr app, a live wheel spin to give you some more value and probably hit some more picks and get a giant multiplier, hopefully, all right? Now, guys, today I have 4 free picks for college football, 4 free picks, and then I got 2 bonus picks for the wheel spin. I'll explain that a little bit later in the video. But, guys, before sign up to Betr. All right, use my code TEACH10. Free new users get free $10 just for signing up, and then you get up to $200 bonus on your first deposit. All right, and guys, since it's Saturday, Betr's so nice. They're going to give you a free Islam Makhachev square. He just needs to land one significant strike. I mean, I'm not the biggest UFC fan, but hey, if you wanted to get into UFC and betting on it, hey, here's a good start right here. Islam Makhachev, one free significant strike. It's basically a free square. He's got to land one punch, okay? Now, guys, if you guys sign up on Betr and they're going to give you all this value, these free money, this free $10, the deposit match and everything. Guys, I'm giving you a free month of my VIP winnable store if you just text me a screenshot that you used my code on Betr, all right? Text me a screenshot to 443-267-8895. Just text me a screenshot that you're using it, that you're signing up, all right? Helps me. I'll give you free VIP picks. Guys, I post my VIP picks every single day along with my free picks. I post my college football spreads, my NFL spreads and totals that you guys don't get necessarily with the fantasy and player prop picks here. So, guys, we've been in college football. Geez, I don't even know what I've done the past 3 weeks. I've gone 5-4 last week, 6-3 the week before, and then 7-4 the week before that, all on spreads and totals. Guys, if you want those free picks and you want more than just player props, guys, join the VIP and sign up, okay? Now, let's get into today's 4 free picks, all right? Guys, let's get right into it. Scrolling down here, starting off with our first pick, we have Ahmad Hardy over 107.5 rushing yards. And you're like, whoa, that's a big line. Okay, well, let's dive into it quick here. All right, Ahmad Hardy, top 3 in college football in rushing, has over 1,000 yards this season. Absolutely credible. Was potentially a Heisman favorite, a bit of a dark horse going into early into the season because he's such a good rusher. And here's why. He's hit this line in 6 out of 10, his last 10 games, averaging 121 yards rushing. Absolutely ridiculous. And he's facing a Mississippi State team that is not a great running defense. 111th in the country. They allow over 175 rushing yards per game against a Mizzou team that loves to run the football with an incredible running back. I mean, this is a no-brainer first pick. Absolutely, Ahmad Hardy's going way over in this game. 107.5, you might be a little scared because you see triple digits on the line. No, don't be scared. We'd run right into the fire. Ahmad Hardy over 107.5 rushing yards. Absolutely love this play. And if you scroll down here, he's gone over 100 in 9 of his last 9 games, averaging close to 130. And look at this. He gets 44% of the rushing share. Jamal Roberts gets a little bit, but it's pretty much the Ahmad Hardy show. Guys, seriously, look at this. Down here, switch this over. Looking at Missouri, they are top 10 in rushing in the country. And like I said, my Mississippi State is not a very good rushing defense. This is a match made in heaven for our first pick, all right? So, guys, that is our first pick. Ahmad Hardy over 107.5 rushing yards. Now, let's get into our second pick here. Devin Dampier, over 69.5 rushing yards. And you're like, Devin Dampier, the quarterback? Yep, exactly. Yes, over 69.5 rushing yards. Guys, he's hit this in 6 out of his last 10 games. I mean, see some of these games where he goes absolutely nuclear, some where he doesn't have much at all against some better defenses. I mean, this is Texas Tech, the best run defense in the country. That Texas Tech defense is nasty. But anyway, looking at Devin Dampier, he's gone over this in 6 out of his last 10, averaging over 80 yards rushing a game, which is absolutely ridiculous. Against another bad rushing defense, this Baylor rushing defense. The Baylor doesn't play defense. This is Big 12 football. This is classic Big 12 football. No defense, all points. This is what we want. This Baylor defense, they're 113th in the country. They're worse than Mississippi State. They're allowing over 175 yards rushing too. Oh, pretty much 178. They're absolutely ridiculous. Now, this Utah team is so much fun to watch, and Devin Dampier is so much fun to watch as well. I absolutely love him to go over this line. He is an absolute freak. You can see he's exceeded 59.5 rushing yards in 5 of his last 6 games, averaging 83 yards on those games. So he's averaging 83 rushing yards per game in his last 6 games. I mean, you kidding me? This is a match made in heaven. Utah might absolutely destroy Baylor. This Utah team is a juggernaut, and no one's really talking about them that much, and they are so much fun. Devin Dampier, incredible. We're going over 69.5 rushing yards. Now, guys, before we move on to the last 2 free picks, guys, sign up to Betr. New users get free $10, up to $200 bonus on your first deposit. Just use code TEACH10. That's all you have to do. Code TEACH10. Very simple. The link will be down in the description of this video. All you got to do is click on it. It'll bring you right to the page. You just got to sign up. It's easy peasy, right? And if you guys text me that you do it, text me to this number, a screenshot that you did it, I'll give you free 30 days. It takes 2 seconds to do. I'll give you free 30 days of VIP picks, okay? All right, now let's get back into picks 3 and 4. So we went over our first 2. Now number 3, we're going with Gunnar Stockton over 224.5 passing yards. Okay. So Gunnar Stockton, he's hit this about 50% clip 5 of his last 10 games, averaging 227.4 in those games. You can see as of recently hasn't hit that mark as much, but against some tougher opponents. Obviously the SEC, very tough conference to play in. But looking at this Texas defense that they're going up against, Texas is 95th in the country in passing yards allowed. They're giving up 235 passing yards per game. That's over the line that's set for Gunnar Stockton. Gunnar Stockton's been playing very well. I've been very impressed with him in this Georgia team. I think this is going to be a very back-and-forth game against 2 very tough opponents. Texas has figured it out. They are back to being a real team after a rough start to this season, and Arch has seemed to have found his rhythm a little bit here with that Texas team. I think this is going to be a great game. Georgia's going to have to throw the ball to keep in it, and I think Gunnar Stockton going over 224.5. I mean, man, this really doesn't feel like that tough of a line to hit. Also, something to note here, down at the bottom that really, really interested me. So, passing yards versus Texas. Their last 5 opponents, look at this. DJ Lagway, 298 yards. You let DJ Lagway throw the ball all over the field. John Mateer, only 202. They did beat the Sooners in that game. Not a great game from Mateer. He was also coming off a thumb injury. His throwing thumb injury. Yeah, exactly. Against Kentucky, 258 yards allowed. 381 yards allowed against Mississippi State, 365 yards allowed against Diego Pavia, a guy who scrambles a lot, just threw the ball all over the field. These are the last 2 games they're giving up over 350 passing yards a game. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't see why Gunnar Stockton can't continue this. This Texas defense is kind of trending down. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game as well. A very good game. I mean, this feels like a no-brainer. All three picks feel like no-brainers. I'm absolutely so confident in this. Over 224.5 passing yards. All right. Now let's get into our final pick here, guys. To round out the 4-man, we are going with Isaiah Satania III, wide receiver from Oklahoma, over 65.5 receiving yards. All right. Here's what I love about this. He's hit this in 6 out of his last 10. And if you look at the last 7 games, he's hit it in 6 out of the last 7. I believe that's what this insight is here. Yeah, he's hit it in 6 out of the last 7. He's averaging over 90 receiving yards a game. I absolutely love that for Satania. Playing so well lately. Mateer loves to throw to him. Now, this Alabama defense is a top 10 defense in the country when it comes to receiving yards allowed. They are very good at that. But I have a sneaky feeling that this Oklahoma team can actually win this game against Alabama. You're like, what? TJ, this team lost to Texas a few weeks ago. They looked like crap. I know, but Mateer's had a couple weeks to, adjust to that thumb injury coming off of that. And even then, even in those games, he's still like, where's Satania? I got to get him the ball. And Satania, man, an explosive player, a deep threat as well. I know he's their top guy, and Alabama's definitely going to know where he's at all times on the field. But, I mean, look at this. Even on all these last 10 games, he's averaging pretty much 70 yards receiving. I mean, I don't see any reason why Satania goes under this line. I mean, this is going to be a good game. The spread is 5.5 in Alabama's favor. But you're like, only 5.5? You're like, Oklahoma hasn't been playing that great recently. Alabama looks very dominant, a top 5 team in the country. Shouldn't that be like a little bit more? It kind of makes you wonder what the odds books are thinking about this game a little bit here. I think this is going to be a very close game, actually, coming down to the fourth quarter. Oklahoma's going to need to stay engaged in this game, throwing the ball. I mean, Mateer loves Satania. It's his favorite target by far. We scroll down here. I mean, yeah, over 25% of the receptions, target share. So Satania going over, man. Over 65.5 receiving yards. Absolutely love that to round out the 4-man. All right, so just real quick to recap the 4-man before we head on to the wheel spin. Ahmad Hardy over 107.5 rushing yards. Devin Dampier over 69.5 rushing yards. Gunnar Stockton over 224.5 passing yards. And Isaiah Satania III over 65.5 receiving yards. Now, guys, I got 2 bonus picks. Let's spin the wheel, guys. Let's see if we can get a crazy multiplier. All right. Now, before we go ahead and spin the multiplier, like, TJ, what are my picks? All right. The 2 picks for the multiplier spin. So we have Casey Concepcion, the transfer from NC State to Texas A&M this year, to score a touchdown. Guys, he scored a touchdown 7 out of his last 10 games. He's had a few games where he hasn't scored, but he scored 4 out of his last 5 games, sometimes twice in these games too, against some tough teams as well. Again, the South Carolina defense ranks 23rd in the country in touchdowns allowed at 2.3 per game. But, I mean, this A&M team is a top 5 team in the country. I don't necessarily think that matters as much when you're facing Marcel Reed and these weapons and Casey Concepcion, Mario Craver, Ruben Owens on the ground. I mean, this team is absolutely very dynamic, and I love Casey Concepcion to go over. He's one of Marcel Reed's favorite targets aside from Craver, and I just think Casey Concepcion's scoring this weekend. I mean, he does it in 7 out of his last 10. He is absolutely getting into the end zone. Now, for our second pick, we are going with Denzel Boston, all right, over 87.5 receiving yards. Guys, what I love about this, okay, so he's only hit it in 4 out of his last 10. You're like, TJ, why are you even picking this, man? Okay, well, he's had a few games where he's gone over this line. One game where he went nuclear for 150 yards. Let's see, 153 yards against a bad Illinois defense, 98 yards against a bad Rutgers defense, 170 yards against a decent Washington State defense in a rivalry game, and then 92 yards against a bad Colorado State defense. So against some of the tougher teams, he might not do as well against that Big Ten schedule, but against these bad defenses, he lights it up, and it's one of the favorite targets of oh my God, I'm forgetting his name. I'm blanking. Quarterback, Damond. Why can't I remember his last name? Washington's quarterback. Boston is his favorite target. He's the best receiver on this team. Absolutely electric. And this Purdue defense, 101st in the country in receiving yards allowed, over 240 receiving yards allowed per game. And Denzel Boston is one of the favorite targets on this team. See, by far, 32% target share, 87.5 yards. Really? You kidding me? You telling me you can't get 87.5? We just need like 3 or 4 catches. We just need like one explosive play, and we're good. So those are my 2 picks for the wheel. Now, guys, this is my first time spinning the wheel. I have never done this before, so those are my 2 picks. Let's go ahead and type in. We're just gonna place $10 on this, all right? And we're gonna apply the mystery multiplier, so we can get anywhere from a 3x to a 1,000x play, and we're going to place the entry, and I believe it will spin for us after you place the entry, so let's go ahead and do it. All right, it's spinning. It's spinning. Give us something good. Oh. Try again. Okay. I got to enable location services, I guess. A 3x. Okay. So we only got it with 3x, which is totally fine. But, guys, those are our picks for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Show me if you guys went spin the wheel. Maybe you get the 1,000x. Hey, maybe you don't know. I just spun a 3x, so I knocked that off. Someone's got to be closer to getting to 1,000x. Thank you guys for joining today's video, and I will see you tomorrow for NFL Sunday. Enjoy your weekend.